The 2016 Rio Olympic Games are finally over, and so begins yet another 4-year period where no one gives a shit about athletics or swimming until we inevitably get to the next Olympics. It's for exactly this reason that I honestly couldn't care less about the Olympics. I get why people like it. I mean, let's face it, we all fall victim to our innate nationalism and patriotism and blindly support our country's athletes in whatever they're competing in. Now, I do love my sports, but I don't care for the Olympics. See, in football, for example, you have the club you support, you watch their games, you might even go to a few. You share their highs and lows and you end up developing a connection and a passion with your club throughout the season or over many years. You don't get that with the Olympics. Another problem is it's pretty damn boring to watch most of these sports. For me, there were 3 memorable moments from the Rio 2016 Games. Firstly, and I apologize for botching the following names, there was Mjlnda Kelmendi, who won Kosovo's first ever medal, and a gold one at that. This was great because Kosovo is a tiny nation that has had many difficulties in the past, most recently during the Yugoslav wars in the 90s. Being only declared independent in 2008, this was an immensely powerful and proud moment for the people of Kosovo competing on the world stage. The second was China's Fu Yuanhui. This woman was simply the best, a breath of fresh air in a time where everyone takes everything so seriously. Fu's enthusiasm, silly facial expressions, happy attitude, and energetic celebrations were so entertaining, she quickly and deservingly became an online sensation. The third and best thing of the entire 26 Olympics was this photo. This is a photo of South Korea's Lee Eun-ju and North Korea's Un-jong taking a selfie. For anyone who doesn't know, these countries are still technically at war. North Korea is constantly trying to provoke South Korea and its allies, and the government has been indoctrinating its citizens to hate its southern counterpart. Despite all this, these two girls were conversing, laughing, and sharing hands down the best moment of the 2016 Olympic Games. Now you notice how the reason that these 3 things are so great technically have nothing to do with the actual sport? Well, there's a reason for that. Because there's never anything worth talking about that's actually about the sports. Yeah, every now and then someone breaks a record, but who gets excited about watching anything in the Olympics besides Usain Bolt? Let's hope he's never caught taking steroids because he's pretty much been the only exciting thing to happen over the last couple Olympics. The only other person that comes to mind is Michael Phelps, but you know what, I honestly couldn't care less about this guy. Sure, he's one of the most successful Olympians ever and congratulations to him, but if someone genuinely believes that cupping helps their performance, then sorry, but that's pretty fucking dumb. It's because of this that, unlike so many others, I personally don't find Phelps inspiring at all. But you know who I do find inspiring? Every single Paralympian ever, and here's why. At some point in all these athletes' lives, there was a moment, probably in their childhood, when they realized that life was going to be different for them. That they were going to have to face trials and tribulations that most people around them would never have to endure. No, not like that, psycho. Like a child that wants to be able to simply run and play with their friends, but knows that they can't, only to suddenly realize that they may never have the opportunity to have the same experiences their friends will. Can you imagine how their parents must have felt? Some of them would have known even before their child was born that they had a challenging future ahead. Can you imagine how heartbreaking this would be to learn? Most of these people would have never done anything to deserve anything like this, the individuals or their parents. Nature has robbed these innocent victims of the things that so many of us take for granted. If anyone on this planet has the right to throw in the towel, to want to quit, just give up, and it's these people. But here's what's so amazingly inspiring. That in the face of adversity, they stand in defiance and say no. Despite the overwhelming difficulties these people face, they refuse to surrender to their limitations. Their parents do everything in their power to make sure that their child are treated just like everyone else, and that they have as much opportunity as anyone else. Every time I see any Paralympian, I'm instantly inspired. These athletes are the greatest example of people making the most out of life. And this is exactly why the Paralympics are so much better and so much more inspiring. If you didn't do it this year, make sure that next time you watch at least one Paralympic event. Every breath they take and every move they make when they're out there is another big fuck you to anyone who may ever have laughed at them or told them that they simply cannot. When I watch the Paralympics, I don't see a group of people competing to be the best in the world. I see people proving to the world that no matter what, nothing is gonna stop them from getting the most out of their lives.